Record. All right, perfect. So social media. So this is going to be module H in the Go curriculum. I have this as H2. H1 is it's pulling in KV Core and using social media and using your database and being able to go into KV Core and use your marketing campaigns. I think the strongest person here today that's been using KV Core the longest is Michelle Vargas. And can you tell us, have you used KV Core for any marketing campaigns at all?
Yes, I have.
Have. Fantastic. I may have you pull up your screen in a few to run through a couple sections. So I went into KV Core. So first of all, in the email that I sent everyone out, there was a YouTube in there. Did any of you click on that YouTube by chance?
I did.
You
I'm like
did.
halfway towards the
Did you
video,
fall?
yeah.
You got halfway through it? Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
It's very detailed and a lot of information in it.
hmm
I got through a portion of it, but I had so much going on over the last few days since I sent that I did not get a chance to go through it myself. So shame on me, but good job, Juan. Keep it up because
Come on.
yeah, you could fill in the gaps there too. So what I did do is I went into my website through KV Core to try and update and upgrade that a little bit and switch it around and just play around with it a little bit. You can completely change the template, style, colors. There's a lot you can do with it. And there's additional upgrades you can make to it for a fee. But for the most part, I'm just sticking with all the free stuff just to see how flexible it can be versus keeping, paying an additional X amount per month for outside websites. I really want to be able to use everything EXP to the fullest. And they have really great products. So I just wanted to share a little bit about the KV Core. Make sure you're getting in there on a regular basis. I know Michelle Rico is in there a lot as she was just starting out the conversation with having trouble with just doing searches in there. So that's good, but you're going to become the expert on that. And then you'll be able to share about all of that. That's the fun thing and fun, not so fun thing about learning curves and learning new platforms, new media, new, software. It's like, do I read the technical or do I just get in there and do it? For me, let me just push all the buttons and see what it does type of person. I'm very visual and I want to see it. But I also want to know what the output's going to be if I do this, or my expectation is this, that, and the other. What do I need to do to get there? Give me the direct instruction to get there. So, with that, I just wanted to make known to you all to get into your KV Core. And I'm sure, Juan, you got in there already, right? You're already accessing.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And they have really, really great seminars or presentations that are already recorded so you can listen and learn at your own speed on what to do. If it's a mail campaign, if it's promoting a particular home through Home Boost or an open house or anything like that, then those slides are available for you to view as well. So it's really, really good information. The one thing I wanted to share, was, let's see if I could do this here. When you go onto social media, one of the first things you want to do, and I think I've mentioned this before, but it's worth repeating. When you go and Google your name. If you haven't done it yet, Google it. There's a couple things you want to see. You want to see, first of all, where is your name showing up? Are there other Michelle Vargas's, Rico's, and Huertas? Is there, what do they, and if there's other realtors with your same name, what does their content look like? Are they showing up on that first page of Google? Because when you pull up at the first page of Google on the very top left, it's going to tell you how many pages with your name, like I did Christina Morales Realtor, and I saw there's a bunch of us, and the majority of us are all realtors, which is really funny. And Northern California, San Jose, and then Texas, and you name it. So there's a lot of places. But then what you want to see is, are any of them showing up before you? on that first page of Google? And if they are, what does their content look like? And this page that you can see here with realtor.com and Facebook are just two entities of places you're going to want to have a profile. Whenever you have a profile on one, you want it to be the same theme or identical on all of the other profiles. So you want your profile to have the same photo. You want your name to be the same everywhere. You want your logo to be the same everywhere. The color scheme, if you have a theme of colors in your logo or anything like that. The fonts, you want everything to be very seamless, very similar on every single page as much as possible. If you
I'm
can,
first on my page.
you what?
I'm first on my page.
You are first on your page. In fact, I had pulled up a Google with your name on it because yours is pretty good. Yours is really good, Michelle. Yeah, you show up very well on that Google first page, and I will say that yours is better than mine because I have not paid attention to mine in a really long time. So mine's disjointed. I need to work on mine. When I saw yours, I'm like, oh yeah, hers is dialed in. It looks good.
And I did it with Tom Ferry last year during a training with Tom Ferry.
They
And
said the same thing, or what were they saying?
they said do a Google page. So I did it as he was talking about it.
Hmm.
I set mine up. And right now it says I've had like 193 interactions. No one's called me. A few people have called,
From
but
your actual Google page, your
yeah,
business page.
yeah.
Yeah. And Juan, have you done that yet? Created a Google business page?
Not yet.
Okay, that's another thing you want to add to your list of things to do is you want to add a Google business page because it's just like when you Google a business that you want to go to, like where's the nearest, auto parts store or the nearest theater near me? Where is the establishment at? People want to know where you as a realtor, where are you at? And what's great about, and that's another way people verify and confirm that you're a legitimate business because Google does confirm and verify that you really are a legitimate business. And I've mentioned it before when you're a realtor, you're an independent contractor, you are a small business. So if you're not thinking like a business person because you think you need to have a shop, you need to go to a store and buy things or products at their store, you are that business, you are that store, you are your own product. So you want to start thinking like a business person and create a business page and have a social media profile. I put Facebook on there because so many people still use Facebook, especially for businesses. One of the things about Facebook, when you consider Facebook versus LinkedIn versus Instagram versus TikTok, their output can be the same, but it's going to need to be tweaked for each one because you can't put one post with an image, a certain image on Facebook and have it look right on Instagram. It might be out of bounds of the parameters of the photo or the pixels or etc. So if any of you are familiar with Canva, Canva, it's a great place to help create marketing pieces, your listing presentations. You can do a lot of that outside of EXP or add to what EXP has.
Like my New Year's Eve post.
Yes. Oh, yours was great. I love that one. Yeah, your picture was right on it. Very fancy, very like, this is mine. And I loved it. That was perfect. Great example. That was a really good example. But so when you're on Canva, you can create, it has different templates that you can use and swap out pictures and whatnot. And if you use a template for Instagram, and then try and use it on Facebook, it's going to look funny or vice versa. It's going to look awkward. So you just want to make sure you have the right sizing when you're putting information out there on social. Is your photo the same? Is it up to date? A good rule of thumb is, if you can every year take a photo, at least every 3 to 5 years, take a brand new photo because there was realtors who in my experience and I've seen them through time and I know what they look like when I first got in and I know what they look like now and that's not the picture on the card. And I was running, I think it was the one time that we did the open houses in person. Rico, I think you left at that point, but Raquel was with us or with me and we went into one and she could not believe the person at the open house was the same person on the sign, because the person on the sign looked like a young kid and the person was like maybe a grandparent. And so it was night and day. It was funny, but it was proof too. Yeah, you should. Well, you know what she said, and it was a good perspective. She said that's false advertising.
Yeah.
um, and actually, kind of technically is, because you're expecting a certain, persona. And since realtors put their pictures on everything, you might as well keep it up to date and take the ego out of it. If you're getting old, you're getting old. Like, just, it's okay. It's actually a feather in your cap when you're older, because you tend to seem like you have way more experience, even if you don't. So it's a good thing. So you definitely want to do that. You want to make sure that your phone numbers are the same. You want to make sure that you have, if you're blogging. So Michelle, do you have a blog? Vargas, do you have a blog?
No.
Okay. If you guys decide to do newsletters or blogs, decide how frequently you want to do them. Do you want to do them every week, every month, every quarter, biannually, or just once a year? Whatever that setup is, make sure you do it. If you need to put it in your calendar to make the appointment to get it done ahead of time, do it. You want to make sure that you're very clear about posting, even if it's your regular post. If you decide you want to post every day, I mean, there's the ideals, right? Ideally, you want to post at least 3 times a day on Instagram, as an example. You want to do reels, you want to do stories, you want to do both, combination, and all of that can be completely time consuming. So you can set yourself up with a schedule on Instagram. You can do a schedule on Facebook. There's different platforms you can use to help you schedule multiple. Like Hootsuite is a paid platform. It's a fantastic platform. If you pay for it, you could see in your screen all of the different social platforms that you want to post on, and you can schedule. You literally just like kind of plug and play, and you put them all in there, and you put dates and times of when you want them to run, and then it just goes. It just happens. It just does it. And then, but that's when you can batch build out your content that you're going to put out there. It depends. Some people like to be more on the fly about it and just, shoot from the hip, and they're great and they're fast and it's easy for them. Great. If that's you, fantastic. But if you want more of a strategic plan, or you don't have a lot of time to put to it, maybe think about planning it out. That could be something that you want to consider. Okay, the next one is going to be Trulia.com. So Trulia, I don't know, these here are kind of older slides that I had from before. Trulia got bought out by Zillow. So you still might be able to go on to Trulia. If you had a Trulia account before, they kind of grandfathered it in, and you could still access it, and you could still have a profile on there as an agent, just like you can on Zillow as an agent versus a consumer. You can do both. But as an agent, you just want to make sure that as an agent, you want to make sure that you're plugged in and have profiles on a lot of the different realtor sites. If you don't know what some of the realtor sites are to go to, when you're in your MLS and you pretend to, or when you have a listing and you put the listing in MLS, it'll ask you if you want to push it out through IDX to over 900 websites, etc. You can, for sure, and you definitely want to do that when you have a listing. But it will show probably 20 or so different websites, or you can even Google search what are the different home purchasing websites, and it'll give you a whole bunch of them. And you can have a profile on there as a realtor professional, and it's good to do that. You also want to make sure you have your profile on the MLS mobile websites and the homes.com. There's an IDX version. There's an app through MLS that you can have. I don't have it up on my screen right now, but I'll have to pull that one for you. But you can just Google all the MLS apps and see what's available, what's there. And then you want to make sure you have your photo the same, your emails, your website, your addresses. Make sure your addresses are always not your home address. You want to make sure the address is your brokerage address. So if you're in the California region, it's going to be the San Ramon office address. If you're in the Northern California region, it's going to be the Santa Rosa, I think, office. Yeah, and then others from there. And then I have this. I don't know if I'm going to play this one here. This is really good video. So so as mentioned in previous weeks, and I did mention it before, Breakthrough Broker is an incredible resource for customizable marketing materials. If you're getting emails already from Breakthrough Broker, that means you signed up, which is great. That means you somewhere along the line of your onboarding to now through EXP, they collaborate with Breakthrough Broker. So we can get marketing pieces through our marketing center, but you can also get marketing pieces through Breakthrough Broker. They have a lot of pieces that you can customize. You can plug in your name, your picture, your listing if you want to do that. They have social posts. They have a ton of information. So I highly recommend trying to get through to Breakthrough Broker and get in there and just play around if you haven't done it yet. And then once you log in and once you sign up, it's free. Then you'll get emails every week, and they send like a little blurb like, here's today's post for interest rates, or here's today's information that you can customize yourself. And they have videos too that you can customize and upload to your social media, even if you wanted to. So it's really great. You can do a lot there. And then what you see on the screen is content creation and establishing authority. This is a fantastic, it's it's just under 25 minutes long. I was on the fence about playing it today, but I don't know that we'll have enough time to do it. So I want you guys to take a look at that. And what it is, it's a social media marketing. Holly Kitchens is sharing with you how-to videos and great information on content creation. And the video, like I said, it's about 25 minutes of your time. But let's say you want to branch out and you want to do blogging or podcasting, or she gives you really fantastic ideas. She gives you fantastic links to go to different vendors, third-party affiliates for you to connect with and use if that's something you decide you want to do. There's something called helpareporter.com in there. So what do you want to be when you're a realtor? You want to be the expert in your area or the expert in a niche. You want to maybe pick a niche. I used to always be the one that said, I want to have a wide net and get everyone. I want to appeal to luxury, to first-time buyers, to condo owners, to investors, to et cetera. Now, my view is a lot different. So I definitely would pick a niche personally now versus just throwing the net and see who I can catch. Maybe that's good. Maybe that's bad. It's kind of one of those, to each their own. However you feel more comfortable working is fine. If you pick a niche, let's say you decided you wanted to be any residential real estate expert in your city, whatever city that is, that's perfect. Okay, let's have you be that expert in that city. But let's also make sure you're the one who reporters call for that city. But you better know your information when they call you, because that's a great way to get your name out there. I'm sure some of you have seen local realtors in your area, like, oh, everybody knows so-and-so. And the reporters also hear and feel that buzz. And if they start hearing and feeling that buzz, guess what they're going to do? They're going to call on they have a deadline today to talk about interest rates because they just dropped, and I need the go-to person in Los Banos. Oh, that's Michelle Vargas. Okay, I'm going to call Michelle Vargas. Hey, Michelle, do you have a quote for me for blah, blah, blah interest rates? Maybe they'll call her. Or you could sign up at this website called helpareporter.com. and put your name and information in there, and you can say, oh, I can be I can be your quoted person if you need information for, you know, interest rates was an example, but Los Banos, community events or whatever, something like
Well,
that. So
and
it
that's another important thing. Sorry, Christina, if I can say something real quick
yeah,
on EXP.
mhm.
Um, I have been contacted quite a bit from other states that are with EXP, and they have somebody that I don't know why, but they want to come to Los Baños.
Hmm.
And when I go to look up the agent, I'm the agent who comes up.
I love it.
I love it because I mean I'm getting calls from different states, and I always ask them, "How'd you find me?" And they said, "Well, I just went on the EXP referral, which I just noticed they updated, and I've been kind of playing with it. I didn't go all the way through it. That's another thing I need a pet peeve I need to work on this year is completely going through something when I open it." But
Don't
EXP has an area now where they have you set up, and you just make sure everything's updated. So it's very important you go to your KV Core or whatever to update your bio areas you service. Make sure you put all the towns that you service because they will come and ask and look for you.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely true. Yeah, no, that's wonderful. And that's good. You want to be that go-to person, but you also want to be that person for reporters when it comes to like local real estate kind of stuff.
Yeah.
However, the caveat to that, I will say, is do not make a comment on anything to any reporters regarding any of the NAR stuff that's happening right now. You want to direct that to the brokers, the managing brokers of the state, and leave it there. You don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. So you could talk about local market stuff. You could talk about what's happening. Rico, you could talk about everything that's happening in Santa Cruz. What are the local events? The big time things for the holidays would have been like the yacht harbor, the boat lighting, and all of that kind of thing, or Chardonnay, and well, here's a neighborhood look at the market in Santa Cruz or the Village, or something like that. You could do things like that for sure, and be that person, and you can make a point to do that. There's also she talks about here's the word, right? The jiffies. She calls them jiffies, or some people call them gifts, right? There's jiffies. There's a jiffy.com, and I'll send you guys the links. It's a search in real estate. So you can make your own GIF if you wanted to. If you have the time, creativity, and the outlet for it, you could completely do that yourself if you wanted to. Or you could find some on there and use them. But she goes through everything with a fine tooth comb to help you with content and where to get it and how to put it together. A lot of us just kind of wing it, I think. A lot of people have winged it. A lot of realtors wing it, or they see what others are doing and then they follow that lead. It's not wrong, but she just gives you other ways to do it as well. So I just wanted to give you that information. So we have about 5 minutes left. What you're all on Instagram, I believe, and are you, Juan, are you on Facebook?
Yeah, I have an account, but I haven't really done anything with it.
Okay. Well, that's the other thing too. There's some main accounts that you could do multiple, or if you just do one, just do the one really well, and be consistent on it and post things. And a lot of the time when you're not sure what to post, you can grab information. You know, Emulating someone is probably the best form of recognizing somebody, or if you like somebody's content that they're doing, you can emulate what they're doing, but obviously use your own words for it, or have AI or ChatGPT help you with changing up the verbiage. Always, you never want to just copy and paste somebody else's verbiage. You want to, even when you use ChatGPT, you want to let it know your style, your tone, who you're trying to attract, who's your target audience that you're trying to attract. You want to put all of the instruction in there, and then say, put copy and paste whatever that you like, put it in there and say, can you change it to this style, this tone? I want to target this demographic, or this target audience. And when I say demographic, I mean like people that are millionaires versus, first time home buyers who have a hard time, scraping the money together, etc. It just depends what you want to do. But just make sure you always switch it out, always, always. And anytime you do use somebody else's material, always ask for permission and put their name in whatever you're posting. So if you're using somebody else's photo, first ask and see that you could do it, because photo is a big deal. But if you can use something from like Pixabay, it always says, Christina Morales took this photo of, Seacliff. Okay, then you have to put my photo credit Christina Morales Seacliff, and then you put the picture up there. So you just want to make sure you're doing all the right things, dotting your I's, crossing your T's when it comes to social media, and always make sure that you have your EXP logo and your DRE number on everything that you're marketing, whether it's print, digital, online, etc.
Okay.
Questions? Does anybody have any questions?
No, I'm good.
No questions?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a new year. We got to get moving.
I know.
Number 2, day 2.
Who is going to have at least one open house this month?
I think I might, maybe. Demetric just put a new listing, so in Hollister, so I'm going to see. I might do that.
Okay, good. Good, good, good. I suggest that's the best way to get leads right now outside of your own sphere. If you've not called all the people on your list yet, call them. You still can. The holidays was perfect time to call everybody on your list. If you have 100 people on your list, you should have called them for Christmas, New Year's. But you didn't. That's okay. You can still, hey, it's a brand new year. Happy New Year. How are you doing? How's life? Catch up with people. It's the best way to just touch them. It doesn't have to take a long time. You could leave them voice messages. Hi, Juan, it's Christina. I was just reaching out. I just wanted to wish you a happy new year. It's been a while since I last spoke with you. I hope your family's doing great. How's work? How's life? Call me when you can, or no need to call me. Let me, or just wanted to wish you a happy new year, Christina Morales. And just, you can leave it at that. That's one touch. It counts as reaching out to them. It counts. It gets you in their memory. It's like, oh yeah, I haven't talked to Christina in a long time, or I haven't talked to Michelle in a really long time, etc. So that puts you on their radar, which is good. So then when you call them next month, it's not going to be so awkward, because then you can say, oh yeah, sorry, I was too busy. I didn't get a chance to call you back for New Year's, but yeah, it was great. And it's not so bad. And yeah, well, look, I was just calling to give you an update on your neighborhood. I know you're busy and life's busy. Is that, do you have 15 minutes to talk about that? Or would you rather me, send it to your house or your email? And then that's one touch. Okay, great. You contacted them. And then the next month, oh, hey, it's, Christine again. Then it's not so hard. The more you do it, the more you get used to making those phone calls. And it's good and fun when they're short phone calls. When you haven't touched base with somebody in a really long time and you catch them, then it's going to be like an hour-long phone call. Then